All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we are diving deep into NVIDIA's latest absolutely blockbuster earnings report and a really fascinating interview with its CEO, Jensen Huang, to figure out what's really driving this AI revolution.
Okay, so here's how we're going to break this all down. We'll kick things off with the big earnings numbers. Then we'll unpack the massive China X factor. From there, we'll take a look inside their AI factories, see what's coming with the next wave of agentic AI. And finally, wrap up with what's happening beyond the data center. All right, first up, the earnings report. And the numbers were, well, they were just massive. But here's the thing, they also created this immediate puzzle for investors.
So get this, the headline number was a staggering $46.7 billion in revenue for the quarter. I mean, that just blew past all the expectations. A truly huge figure.
And yet, you'd think the stock would soar, right? But it actually dipped after this incredible report. So what gives? Why on earth would that happen? That is the big question we're going to get to the bottom of.
You know, when you look at the details, on the surface, this company is just firing on all cylinders. Data center revenue is up an incredible 56%. The forecast is super strong. They've got this huge stock buyback, but there's always a but, right? The key detail is that the data center revenue, while absolutely massive, was just a hair under what some analysts were hoping for. And that tiny little miss combined with a much, much bigger uncertainty, well, that's what was on everyone's mind.
And yeah, that single biggest uncertainty, it all comes down to China. It represents this absolutely massive opportunity, but it's one that is just completely tangled up in geopolitics.
And you know, Jensen Huang didn't just frame this as a business thing. He basically argued that getting access to the Chinese market is a win-win. He said it's essential for American tech leadership on the world stage.
And he didn't just talk in hypotheticals. He put a real number on it. He sees the market in China for this year alone as a $50 billion prize. And not only that, but it has the potential to grow 50% every single year. Wow.
So this is where you really see the balancing act they're trying to pull off. Huang's whole argument is that for American tech to be the world standard, it has to be able to compete and win everywhere. And that includes China. But as we all know, for a long time, political hurdles made that incredibly difficult.
So here's the bottom line on the China situation right now. The door is officially unlocked. NVIDIA is licensed to ship there, but they're still waiting for the orders to come in from Chinese customers. And here's the really telling part. The company's record-setting guidance for the next quarter, it does not include a single dollar from China's sales. Huang is basically calling any business from there a bonus on top. They're planning for the future without it.
Okay, so let's put the whole China question on the shelf for a minute and look at what is actually driving NVIDIA's insane success right now. And it's not just about selling chips anymore. It's about building entire AI factories.
So the magic really starts with this piece of tech called NVLink. And you have to understand, this isn't just about connecting a few chips together. It fundamentally changes how data centers are even built. It lets NVIDIA fuse an entire rack. We're talking 72 GPUs into one single, massive, unified supercomputer. It's wild. And from there, you can see their entire strategy laid out in these 3 simple steps. First, you scale up with NVLink to create that supercomputer in a rack. Then you scale out, using another tech called SpectrumX to connect all of those racks together. And finally, the grand finale, you scale across, connecting entire data centers into one giant superfactory. It's a complete end-to-end platform.
Okay, so that's the engine they have today. It's incredible. But what about tomorrow? Where is all the future demand going to come from to keep this train rolling? Well, Jensen Huang has a very clear answer. Agentic AI.
So what is agentic AI? Well, think of it like this. The AI we have now, it's amazing at answering our questions. You ask, it answers. Agentic AI is the next step. It's about getting things done. This is AI that can think, reason, plan, and actually use tools like a web browser or Excel to solve really complex problems. It's less of an encyclopedia and more of a super smart assistant. And here's the kicker. According to Huang, making that leap from just answering questions to actually taking action, it requires a simply staggering increase in computing power. We're talking orders of magnitude more than what we're using today. Just to put that into perspective for you, if this little bar here represents the computing power we need for today's AI models, the demand for agentic AI isn't just a step up, it's a rocket ship. It's an exponential explosion. And that right there, That ensures a very, very long runway of demand for NVIDIA's platforms. Okay, so obviously data centers are the main event right now. But what's really cool is how AI is also coming back to transform the very business that started this whole thing for NVIDIA in the first place: gaming.
I mean, it's such a fascinating full-circle story, isn't it? The GeForce gaming GPUs, the things that let us play video games, they're what made the AI revolution possible to begin with. And now, AI is coming back to completely revolutionize gaming. Their gaming division just had a record quarter, and a new technique called neural rendering is a big reason why. Basically, AI predicts and generates pixels on the fly, creating these stunningly beautiful and smooth images while saving a ton of power. It's a total game changer.
When you listen to Huang talk, you realize his vision goes so far beyond just selling chips or software. He genuinely sees this moment as something much, much bigger. He believes this is the dawn of a new industrial revolution, and that AI is going to be its foundational technology for the next century.
Which really leaves us with one final big question to think about. As NVIDIA keeps fusing computing, networking, and software into these incredibly powerful AI factories, are they just selling the picks and shovels in this new AI gold rush? Or are they actually the ones drawing the maps, laying the foundations, and becoming the chief architect of the entire 21st century economy?